Hello, beautifuls. I wanted to talk today a little bit about remembering who we are. I've talked about that at our very essence, we are all, each and every one of us, love, and that we simply need to remember who we are. And in this world that we live in, that is incredibly difficult. It is so easy to forget and be tied up in all the periphery. But in order to actually remember who we are, we need to develop an awareness. And from that awareness, our love will spring forth. So to be able to love another is to be able to see them authentically, to be in their presence in the here and now, in this exact moment, and seeing them for who they truly are in that moment. It doesn't involve any of the memories we have of them, any of the desires we have for them, the prejudices or projections. It is seeing authentically how they are showing up in that moment. And in order to get to that place, we need to have a deep awareness of what's going on for us. And to practice this awareness, we will not only be looking for the positive things, but also for the things that we might consider negative. So every time we interact with another or we're in the presence of another, we need to observe and study all of our reactions, be that positive or negative, and to really ask ourselves, where are these responses or reactions coming from? And to follow the trail to our belief system. We need to ask ourselves things like, what are we feeling? What are our motives? What are we trying to control? How are we lying to ourselves? And when we show up in this place, simply observing. No judgment, no guilt, but this awareness will allow us to understand ourselves better. And in that place of even uncomfortable awareness, of seeing things that might be unpleasant, there is a peacefulness and a joy that can arise because there is an awareness. There is a liberation now, an understanding that hadn't been there before. And when we cultivate this type of awareness for ourselves and others, it allows us to show up in that loving place because we understand ourselves fully. We are not worried about judgment or reaction, and we allow others to show up the same way. Essentially, the practice of awareness will allow us to align our hearts and our minds so that we can show up in a place of clarity and sensitivity. And from that place, we will always respond appropriately and authentically. Thank you very much for joining me for another perspective. And as always, I encourage any comments, questions, or discussions. And until we speak again, please stay hydrated, nourished, and well rested.